Hi, I'm Mandy Vecero, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Winchester Victim Witness Program. So the Victim Witness Program is a program that helps victims and witnesses of crime through the court process. We are housed in the Winchester Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and we are there to help understand the court process, to notify victims of cases that are coming up when trials are set for, and to let them know if they do or don't need to come to court. So some of the other services that we provide at the Victim Witness Program is we help provide counseling, and we do not do the counseling ourselves. We find counselors in the community that we can refer them to. We also can apply for Virginia Victims Fund, which is a fund that can help victims of crime with things like paying for medical bills, any co-pays they may have, crime scene cleanup, funeral expenses in cases of homicide. We also will go to court with a victim, do courtroom tours where we will take them into the courtroom, show them where they'll be sitting, where the defendant will be sitting, where the judge is. We will take them, put them on the stand, ask them some questions to get them comfortable, to know what a courtroom feels like, because a lot of the people I work with have never been in court before. So how we get in contact with the victims in our cases is through a myriad of ways. It's through referrals from the police department, referrals from other agencies throughout the state and local. Also, we receive police incident reports letting us know people have been victims of crime that we then reach out to. And then sometimes victims will know of our program or have heard of it from a friend and then contact us directly. And that's how we reach out to the people in our community who may need our services. So one of the great things about our program is that we help all victims of crime. We don't specialize. So if you are a victim of crime within the city of Winchester, we will be there to help you. It does not matter what the age range is. We work with child sexual assault victims. We work with the families of homicide victims. We do people who have had their vehicles stolen, houses broken into, rape victims, domestic violence, even people who've had their mailboxes knocked off by juveniles going around with baseball bats. If it is a crime that happened in the city of Winchester, we would hopefully be able to contact you and help you through the court process. So I got into this line of work when I was in college. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do as a major. So I was just taking random classes, trying to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I happened upon an Intro to Criminal Justice class. I took that class, I loved it. At that point, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do in the criminal justice system. I didn't want to be a police officer, I didn't want to be a probation officer. And then I kind of just stumbled upon victim services. And the more I learned about it and what it does and how it helps people, I just kind of realized that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in contact with people, help them to understand what can be a really confusing process, and just try to help them navigate it to try to make what happened to them just a little less awful. So every day in my job, it's a different challenge, but one of the best parts is the times when I really know that I have helped someone. And I know that in a bunch of different ways. Occasionally it is just a straight thank you. People will come back later to let me know that I've helped them. It is just seeing a smile come across somebody's face where when they came into my office they were crying, those sorts of things. So the best part of my job is really when I am able to make somebody who has had something very traumatic happen to them or is going through something very traumatic, help them to have a smile or to understand what's going on and to be able to help them get the help they need. The job can also come with a lot of things that are hard. The hardest part is probably when I'm not able to find the exact services that someone may need. Unfortunately, due to funding, various different things, sometimes there's gaps in services that can be provided in your locality. We're decently fortunate here in Winchester to have a good amount of services, but there are sometimes just things that I cannot find. The other part of my job that is very hard is working with the child sexual assault victims or just child victims in general, to see what they've been through, to know that perhaps part of their childhood has been taken away from them. So those are some of the things that I find hardest in my job. The one thing that I would like to stress to everyone, whether you're on a jury, whether you're working with someone who's a victim of crime, is that trauma affects everyone differently. So to expect one blanket response from people who have suffered trauma is not going to happen. Everyone processes differently. Everyone's bringing their own backstory, their own baggage and life history into that event with them. So I would ask that you realize when you are listening to or talking to somebody who has been a victim of crime, that even though the reaction they are having isn't what you expected, that it doesn't mean it didn't happen and that they're not suffering. So our program services about 1,200 victims a year. We are 2 full-time staff, 2 part-time staff, but we can always use volunteers in the office to help because that is a large volume for a 4-person operation. A lot of our volunteer work may be clerical with filing or data entry, things like that, but we are always looking for volunteers who would like to give us a few hours here and there where they can to help with what we do. One thing that I would like to let people know is that while I specifically do crimes that happen here in the city, that each jurisdiction in the state of Virginia has their own victim witness program. So Frederick County has their own program, Clark County has their own program. They're very easy to find. You can just Google them, or worst case scenario, if you need to contact someone, you can give me a call and I can get you in touch with the proper person. Who you're going to work with is not based on where you live, it's where the crime happened. So just because you're a city resident, that doesn't mean necessarily I'll work with you if what happened to you happened in the county. So it's based on where the crime happened, not where you live. One thing we like to do is community outreach. So we do attend things like the Public Safety Fair, National Night Out, and those type of events. So if you're having an event where you would be interested in us having a booth so that people can come up and talk to us, we are more than happy to, just because we like to get the word out. A lot of people don't know our program exists, and we want them to know that. We don't want them to ever have to use us, but if something were to happen where you needed our services, we want you to know that the Victim Witness Program is there. So I will say that there are a lot of crimes that go unreported for various reasons. Just because your case didn't make it to criminal court doesn't mean that you can't contact me and I can't try to find you the services in the community that you may need to help you get through or work through what has happened to you. If you or someone you know has been a victim, you can reach us by calling 540-722-7940. We also have a Facebook page. It's under Winchester Victim Witness Program, which has Messenger attached to it where you can reach out to us. Now please remember, if something emergency has happened to you, please call 911. That is who you should call first. But if you are someplace safe and the incident has already happened, please give us a call.